And all right, hello everybody. It is now time for Tyler to bring us some Metal Gear Solid.
Hey, thank you for having me. This is Metal Gear Solid 1 on the PC. Now, this is mainly a PlayStation game, but with the PC port, and as with a lot of PC ports in the late 90s and early 2000s, it's a bit janky, and this one more so than others. So for starters, we're going to be playing this on New Game Very Easy, which may sound kind of weird to some, but I will be explaining that at the beginning of the run, because we do have a little bit of downtime at the very beginning. But without further ado, let's get started in 3, 2, 1, go. So the first thing that you'll be going to notice is that I can skip all the cutscenes pretty much instantly, because this is the PC version, and all the codecs are one skips. Just I don't have to mash through anything. Now you'll see me taking some damage and one alert here. Unfortunately, I got hit twice. So why I'm doing this is because I actually need to farm at least 9 to 10 alerts, so that way I can get the PAL key in the drainage ditch. Normally, it would be there in a normal game playthrough, a casual playthrough, because you'd be kind of fumbling around. But actually, it's actually slightly faster, and I wasn't really found out until a little while ago, so we're just going to be farming some alerts here, just constantly running around and getting this guy. And when we took damage, it is going to be very important later. And you also notice that I already have a weapon. On Very Easy, you are given a MP5 with unlimited ammo. And this is only available on the integral version of the game, which was only released in the Japanese PlayStation release, which is kind of their greatest hits, and then on the PC later on. So that's why it looks kind of weird, and this will fully take the place of the FAMAS. Oop. A little mistake there, that's okay. So yeah, aside from the MP5 and such, on Very Easy, and on the PC port specifically, you're going to have a couple exclusive things, and you'll begin to see that here very shortly. And we'll be using the area reloader, which used to be the blank save glitch, which, for those that don't know, on the PC version, it could be anywhere between 10, 20, 30, 50 saves. It really all depended on your hardware. You would get a blank save file. If you load it, you would reload the room that you were in, but you would still keep story flags, Snake's health, ammo, and stuff like that. Now, thankfully, that has now been made an option through the custom community launcher, thanks to B-Man, through Cheats Enable, which essentially does the same exact thing as the blank save glitch. The only issue is that beforehand, whenever we would have it enabled, we lost weapon hotkeys, which, as you will see, I can instantly change weapons no matter what.
Their own.
As long as I can just press it on my keyboard, which is pretty nice. Oop. Bit of a fumble there, it's okay. I got hit, I'm gonna equip the ration here just in case. Alright, and we're good. You see, I swapped to the chaff right there, no need to menu. Alright, now we're gonna start making our way through the game, and if you've ever seen this game on my console, you would normally see us go to the vent and then go out of bounds to go straight to the medical room, as this is any percent. With the PC Very Easy run, it's a little bit different because we're using area reloader because it'll be slightly faster. Now, the only issue is that doing this, as I've come to find, if you don't do it quite right, it can crash the game. I'm knocking on wood that doesn't happen here, but, if it does, not a big deal, because I have a save right nearby, so we can just load right back in, but obviously wouldn't want that to happen. You see all these little rats in the vents. You're going to crawl out here, throw a chaff to distract the guard, and run straight for the elevator. 2 steps, start cooking, and throw it at the box. And did not get the fast elevator, unfortunately. That's okay, though. We're going to go down to B1, but then rather than walk out, we're actually going to go back in the elevator and then go back down to floor 1. Or up, rather, I guess, if you want to think about it like that. And once we start hearing noises, we're going to spam F7 for the area reload. And if I did it right, yep, I will be out of bounds. And now, I'm gonna answer the codec, area reload again, and now we're gonna advance further on.
Back. See you later.
Now, since I lost health, which is good, we're gonna eat the ketchup.
Wait.
So that way we now have the Meryl ending, and the ninja will break us out of prison. Normally for these Metal Gear Solid 1 runs, there'd be an incentive for, do we save Otacon, do we save Meryl? But for this difficulty in particular, you only save Meryl, which is very weird because 99% of the time, if you're doing PB attempts for any other category, you would always want to do the Otacon ending. So this is kind of nice that this actually lets you just save Meryl, which you'll see here at the end of the game. As you saw, Johnny kind of just teleport through there, and now he's going to run away, and the ninja will be breaking us out of prison. And from here, things are going to be getting quite fast-paced. I will try to explain the best that I can, but there'll be a lot of things happening back to back to back. But so the next objective is to get the sniper rifle, which is in the floor right below us in the armory.
You're here to get me out.
As you can see, I can change weapons while I'm in a cutscene, and I can't interact with anything. And if I do it correctly, while picking up my stuff, I'll try and, so as you saw there, I was swapping weapons and I was skating over. I was a little bit slow on the skating part, but if I were to do it correctly, I could pretty much skate out of the room, and I would have to just, leave the room and it'd be a lot faster. But unfortunately, I had to get pulled back, and now we're going back, we are going down to B2. And we're gonna go and grab the sniper rifle, but again, with the area reloader, as soon as we actually touch the sniper rifle and we see that PSG1 text, we're going to area reload and be back in the elevator. It makes this much faster. Now that we have the sniper rifle, pretty much done gathering most of our materials except for grenades. That's going to be the last big thing that we actually need to go and get here. Be careful of the claymore here. Alright. Take a bit of a specific line. Now we're gonna shimmy our way over to grab these 2 packs of grenades. Using these for the Raven boss fight. And as you notice, since we started in the prison, we're gonna be going through this as if we had beaten all these bosses and we'll get the rank ups. Where I will also be doing the little area reload trick to save a little bit of time. Now, normally I would do it again here, but because I want a little bit of marathon safety, I am going to opt not to do it so that way I can grab some more chaff grenades, since we'll be doing the boba skip. If anyone has been keeping up with recent events, a ranger skip got discovered a little while ago. You're not supposed to use weapons here, but on the PC version, if you hold the weapon hotkey, you are able to use it, even though you're not supposed to. It's very strange. So, normally you will not be able to actually shoot that guy there. And since I had not so many alerts in the docks, just to make sure that I'm good, I'm going to throw a grenade here. I'm going to get an intentional alert here just to make sure that I'm doing okay. Again, area reload. And now that we are at this point, we have unlocked the sniper rifle to actually be used. And we will use this to out of bounds using GME or God Mode exploit. So by crouching down, going from the sniper back to the chaff. Sorry, I was counting my steps, so as you see there, it lets me kind of go out of bounds, and you kind of think of out of bounds as like Pac-Man, where if you go to the farthest south end side, you will then be teleported to the north end. And by doing so, I can make both of those sections a lot less travel time. So now, I'm going to throw a grenade through the door, so that way we just get the instant alert, we don't have to do anything like that with the cutscene. Okay, so now for the boba skip. So we're going to go up against the door and look at a very specific angle and then get damaged, either by letting a chaff grenade explode in our hands or having one of the guards shoot us, ideally with a chaff grenade. I think that's a little bit too early, unfortunately. Okay. So now we're going to go to the door, line up as such, and cook the chaff grenade, and hopefully we get it through the first try. It is a coin flip. And we got it first try, very good. Okay, so that skips about 2 minutes, having to climb all the way up to the tower and then rappel all the way back down. Also, there are no guards here on the catwalk area, which is very nice, so... First try, Bubba. Skip. Don't need to grab the stingers as well, you'll see why later. Grab some extra grenades for safety. And with the GME, we will go straight down. We do not even have to fight the Hind D. Again, things are moving very, very fast here. This is a very fast-paced run here. And we're going to use GME, and then we're going to skate through. And that is Wolf 2. Blink, and you'll miss it, essentially. GME, so that way we don't take any damage there. And also, in case you didn't notice, if you use GME, you actually won't take any damage, and that'll be very important for the next boss fight. The grenade to explode here. And now we're going to go through that a couple times to make sure that it comes up here. Alright, now we have the cargo lift fight, and again, using GME, you see I won't be able to take any damage at all. I am pretty much invincible. Uh-oh. Missed the throw there. It's okay. Let's do some funny stuff just to pass the time, like, you know, do the worm and do all kinds of weird stuff. You can mess around with your weapons while you're not controlling Snake, although it doesn't matter too much. Okay. Oh. Okay. It's pretty lucky. Usually, if that camera sees you, you actually will get hit, but I got a bit lucky there. My line. Alright, so a small breather. So, ideally, there's only about 2 bosses in this game. I guess 3 if you count the final escape. There's Raven. We will be fistfighting Liquid, and then we'll be escaping Shadow Moses' Island at the very end. So there's like 2 to 3 bosses ideally in like this run altogether. And for the next boss coming up, I'll be using the God Mode exploit to not take any damage, to where it'll all be on my precision and just my timing, essentially. So you see me crouching here and then going into GME. This skips a codec call that would normally happen, saves a little bit of time. So whenever you crouch and use GME, we use that to break triggers, we use that to skip codecs, and whenever we do it standing, that makes it to where we don't take any damage. Oh! I almost forgot that there is a bomb in my inventory. Aha. Even Ocelot finds it kind of funny. It's okay though, because, you know, we're already down here anyway, so minor time loss. Big old oop. It's alright though. Very minor time loss. And now, I'm gonna do GME. I'll throw some grenades at Raven. Time these so where they're not overlapping. And the very last one, we will be using the MP5. Should be this one. Yep. I'm gonna run up to him and just spam this in his face. Give the area reload here. Alright. Typically, I would throw that out at the very beginning, but for some reason it just slipped my mind, but it happens. At the very least, that happened during that part, and not at the elevator beforehand, because then I'd have to wait a whole lot longer. That was a very minimal time loss. So now we're going to be getting 3 calls from Otacon. I was trying to get it frame perfect. Oh well. Yep, so now we're going to make our way up here, so that way we can go and get the Palki shot out of our hands, and it will fall into the drainage ditch. Normally, it would be eaten by the rats, and we'd have to get it there, but as I said before, because we have enough alerts, especially with this one here, I'm going to farm an extra one right here, just to make sure that we're good to go. Alright, assuming that I did not mess up royally. Oh. Lost that guy because he shot me. Alright, so now we're going to go to the drainage ditch, and there are 7 positions for the PAL key to be spawned at. And once we actually get to the PAL key, we're going to area reload once again to go back to the ladder. We have to be very careful to not do it too early, otherwise we won't have it in our inventory. We actually have to wait for the white text to disappear. Alright, so I'll be taking a particular line. Hopefully I will hit it on one of the first couple of spots. If not, it will be at the back right end of the drainage ditch. Let's see what we got. Oh, okay, there it is. Disappear. And we're good to go. Not a bad spot.
I was gonna ask to see if you had time for donations during trying to find the key, but you found it too fast.
Don't worry, we will be having pretty much 2 sections where we'll just be sitting around for about a minute or so, so... Actually, you know what? Right now, if you have donations, go right ahead.
Alright, I'll be quick with it, but we have 2 here. We have $10 from Jeremy saying, this is the best thing I can do while lying sick on the couch, so thank you so much for that. And then we have $50 from Jared250 with no comment, but thank you so much, you two.
Alright, so you saw there, I was skating to go through that little section there just to make sure that Alan gets stopped by the door closing. So now that we have the PAL key... Oh, I should have done that. Speaking too early. So now that we have the actual PAL key, we had to insert it in once for the yellow, and now we have to change the key twice. Once to cold for the blue key, and then go to the blast furnace to turn it into the red key. And we have to sit in both of these rooms for about 61 seconds, and then we have to leave again, so there's going to be ample time for any kind of donations to be read during the section, because from here on out, we're pretty much just going to these rooms and going back to the commander room, and then starting the final series of fights. And really, this is the only thing left for like Metal Gear Solid 1 in like terms of like auto scrollers or like sitting around. Like this is the last major time save left is skipping the actual PAL key sequence, which no one has been able to figure it out yet. But you know, we got Boba Skip this year, so anything's possible. Yep. Not too much to do here. I guess we'll play around with some of the camera angles. Oh, I think it's over here on this one. Ah, there we go. This game has a lot of different camera angles. This is an interesting one. Yeah. I'll be using an audio cue for the music. Once we hear a certain part, I'm going to lay down and check my key to make sure that it is blue. Alright, now... I didn't grab the Stinger, and that's because I won't actually be using it, so be fighting Rixa in a very unorthodox way that normally wouldn't fight into where we don't even need the Stinger at all. Yep, okay. Just wanted to confirm that we're good. Just wanted to double check. It always feels bad if you leave slightly too early and then, you know, you don't have the correct key color and you get all the way there and then it doesn't work. It just doesn't feel too good. Yep, so now we're just going to do the same thing as we did last time. I'm just going to shoot this guy and go to the control panel. Can't we see Rex always give me headaches? Yep. Rex can be quite annoying. We'll see how it will treat us. And again, once I am climbing down, I am holding X to where I just need to tap square to actually shoot him, so I can run that gun at the same time. Seems much easier. and just have to walk straight to the right, and we're able to just, or sorry, to the left. Oh, walk straight to the left whenever we have this weapon out, and we don't even trip the cameras at all, so that's good. And on our way all the way back to the blast furnace. And for those that like to make comparisons, for the remake of this game on the Twin Snakes, they actually put in pipes at the far right side of the room where you can shoot them and it'll instantly change the actual pal key color. So while there is no boba skip in that game, or like any skips really at all, there's a lot of things more streamlined, and that is one of the things that is very streamlined, and that's like probably the biggest downside of like this game, the fact that there's a lot of backtracking. Now we've removed a lot of that, especially with the boba skips, that saves about 2 minutes or so. So that's a huge time save, but there's still this kind of sluggish point towards the end of the game right here where you have to backtrack quite a bit. Because now there are guards here, so we have to just dodge them by simply going to the left. And making our way up to the blast furnace. Right. Again, I'm going to be going into Jimmy here and make sure we don't get any codec calls on this elevator at all. It's a very minor time loss, but it's free. You're not really doing anything else, so you may as well. So, do you have any more donations?
Well, I can mention with donations some of the things that you can donate for coming up,
yeah.
Which is we currently have our next game, Discworld, has its incentive already met. Thank you all for meeting that so quickly. But we do have our next bid war with the Messenger category bid war. Currently, New Game is about $30 ahead of New Game Plus. So if you want to see New Game Plus, you have a little bit of fighting to do for that. And then our next target incentive is going to be for Chicory later today. If you want to see the runner climb the mountain, we're currently at about $124 out of $500. So make sure if you want to see either of those two things that you get your money in. Since the whole plan of the marathon is to go fast, you have a lot less time than you think.
Alright, we're at the blast furnace, and as I always do at the blast furnace, I always like to scare people half to death by trying to go for this ration. That is oh so tempting on the very edge, even though it's full. Have his Snake's foot just kind of dangling off there. Alright. So again, we're going to be waiting for a particular point in the song, then I'm going to check for my paddle key, make sure that it's red, because this is by far the one that trips up people the most, because, this is the very last one. It can be a bit impatient, so definitely want to double check for this one especially. Because if I miss it, then I got to go all the way back here, and it's a huge time loss. But that won't be happening today, but, yeah, it's happened to me, it's happened to many of others, People just get very impatient, and it sucks, but it is what it is. Almost at the point of the song. Yep. Alright, we got the red PAL key, we have confirmed it, and now we're good to finish the game finally. We were going too fast and the game's trying to slow us down at the very end. Alright, so once we input the final PAL key, we'll be fighting Metal Gear Rex, followed by Liquid, and then escaping Shadow Moses Island. So we are pretty much reaching the very end of the run here. This is the finale, the climax, whatever you want to call it. Let's see if we get by the... Alright, got really lucky with that RNG on that turret there. and again, be doing GME2 to make sure that we do not get the codec call here. Quickly switch over. Okay. And the Royal Guards in the next room again, but again, I'll just have to be going to the right-hand side. It's pretty simple. It's not very well guarded, especially if you think about it for Rex's lair. You know, there's only one guy guarding it. Although, it could be argued that they don't really want to guard it because they want Snake to, you know, input the PAL keys, but, you know, could have at least made it a bit less awkward, I guess. There's only one guy guarding this entire place, essentially. Alright. Make our way through the warehouse. Should be over here to the right. Dodge all these guys. Use one more chaff to make sure we can take a bit of a better line here. Alright. And again, just wanted to thank TGH and Fastpace for Headspace for letting me showcase this run, you know, before we get to the very end, because the for the very end is also kind of fast-paced, and time will be approaching at a very quick time as well, since this game doesn't have credits, which is kind of weird, because all Metal Gear Solid games essentially have credits that you have to sit through, but for the PC port of MGS1, you do not have to, which is very weird. And for like very easy, there will be no score screen. It is only RTA based, so that's why it's also a bit different compared to the other runs as well, because there's no score screen. Calling Otacon, he's going to be unlocking the door for us here in a moment. Alright. Alright, here we go, Metal Gear Rex. Get ready for it. Alright, that was Metal Gear Rex. With the area reloader, we just reload a couple times, and
If you
Rex
win,
has been defeated.
you might still be able to save.
So I don't need to grab the singer at all. And now we're going into the liquid fist fight, where we'll be essentially tossing him twice and trying to infinite punch him in the corner.
If you cross this line, you'll fall. At this height, it will kill even you.
Now, we have plenty of time to actually do this. It's just a matter of setting it up here.
Have at you, Snake.
Gonna toss him once, trail behind him. Oh, I seem to have gone a little bit. Okay, this is a bit of a weird back I gotta do. Can't get the full combo, and he's constantly pushing me back, but you know. Oh, he knocked me off. Unfortunate.
Hurry!
He almost got him. Okay, we got him now. Gotta get him. Trying to combo him off. Oh, come on. Oh, man.
Hurry! You're out of time!
There we go. Better late than never. You know,
Hurry!
the 1 HP, classic. Did not get the exact set that I wanted, but, you know, stuff happens.
Damn, a surveillance camera.
Now we have Meryl, which is, you know, very weird if you've seen other speedruns. You never really see Meryl at the ending here.
All right, jeez.
I dragged this guy over. Took him out. Hopped in the Jeep.
Got it, Snake. Jump in. Snake, hold on.
And blew up the barrels. And now we have 2 checkpoints to go through, and then we have to pummel about 5,000 bullets into liquid to finally end the game. Final time will be happening once we hit the blinding white lights, or like the white flash at the very end of the game. Once Angriel says we're gonna crash. I distinctly remember Otacon and like what he says, but like Meryl says something different. I believe he says we're gonna crash. So once she says that, and the screen turns white, then we'll be done. Because now we're done with the second checkpoint. Now we're going to defeat Liquid one more time. It's gonna be very simple. We're gonna be doing a sort of a fanning motion.
Not yet, Snake. It's not over yet. Liquid.
Slowly fanning across. We're going to be shooting him so often. You see these little like transition shots where he'll be kind of falling back. Another chance to actually hit him. We got some good damage there. That's a good transition shot. I kind of think of this last fight as just one big health bar, but it's invisible. Since he won't go to the next area unless you actually do a certain amount of damage to him. Alright, another transition. Bit unfortunate. And once you find the right spot, you can just hold your position here and it'll be good for this section. GameStop trade. Alright, time is approaching here in a second.
Daylight. We're gonna crash.
Alright, and that is Metal Gear Solid 1 for the PC port on very easy 80%. Thank you all for letting me showcase this run. I do appreciate it. Shoutouts to the Metal Gear Speedrunners community and Fast Pace for Headspace, and also shoutouts to Take This. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of the marathon.
All right, thank you so much. That was a very fun run. We will be moving into an intermission before our next world, or our next run, which is going to be Disc World with Mendez. So, see you in a little bit.